Could you guys imagine a better theme for Halloween fall palette than Salem, Massachusetts? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to show you guys 4 looks with the new Nomad eyeshadow palette. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts, see the looks, and just chat about this new release, then just keep watching. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I usually post 2 times a week, so highly recommend subscribing to my channel, turning on the bell so you're notified every time I post, and without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, I'm really excited. I feel like I haven't filmed 4 looks with one eyeshadow palette in such a long time. I am waiting for some new palettes to come my way, but in the meantime, I had a good amount of time to test this palette out before it launches, which is so exciting. And I'm so excited because I was talking about this in my new makeup releases video last week, and I said it's a state that I've been talking about a lot. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Massachusetts, Karen Reed, I feel like I've been there even though I've never been to Massachusetts. I really want to go now. And yeah, they're doing Witch City, Salem, so I thought it was meant to be. And this is the box packaging. I have close-ups, I have swatches, so let's take a look. So this is their Salem, Massachusetts, the Witch House, a Halloween classic. Spooky season is here, and no better place to experience this favorite American celebration than in iconic Salem, Massachusetts. Ghost tours through cobblestone streets and haunted happenings of epic proportion, and an infamous past with bone-chilling events. The Witch City is a spectacular place to create an alchemy of fun, festive, and good old spooky Halloween. So grab your book of spells, chant some hocus pocus, and join us for some classic Halloween celebration. Devilishly rich and ghoulishly colorful Halloween hues formulated with extra fine pigments for blendability and payoff. 9 wicked smooth mattes and 9 spellbinding shimmers inspired by the haunting and howling good time in Salem at Halloween. So Nomad always supports a cause with their launches, and the cause this time is the Panthera to help save the wild black cats of the world. That is so cool. And it says this is a classic Halloween palette with a palette cover that shifts from the iconic witch house on a bright fall day to the shadowy witch lair bubbling with potions and spells. And I love it. It has a lenticular packaging, so like I just said, it shifts back and forth. It's awesome. And the color story does not disappoint either. Okay, so I just want to tell you a little bit about the shades. Witching Hour is a peach shimmer. Haunted Happenings is a peach matte. Harvest Moon is a bright orange sparkly shade. Spirit Spells is a taupe. Old Bearing Point is a shimmery taupe shade. Witchcraft is a gray. Then we have Salem Willows, which is a light green shimmer. Dark Demons is a bright green. The Crucible is a shimmery burgundy shade. Devil's Book is a matte burgundy. Gallows Hill is a shimmery purple. Salem Commons purple matte. We have Witch Hunt. It's a green shimmer, more of a dark green. Seven Gables is a army green matte. Howling Halloween is a brown shimmer. Hocus Pocus is a dark red purpley matte. Ropes Mansion is a dark purple shimmer with lots of blue sparkles. And then Witch City is a matte black shade. This palette I don't think has any special shades. I didn't see any multi-chromes in here, but it's a solid palette. I love the color story. It's a very traditional Halloween. Really like the big mirror in here. Overall, I've been very impressed with the performance of the eyeshadows. I've done 3 looks so far. I'm about to do look number 4, but you're gonna see this in the order that I started creating the looks in. Surprise! This collection also contains 3 lip products, so I do have close-ups and swatches of each of these. I think these are so beautiful. So of course they have like a matte back packaging with the gold writing on them, but each of the bullets are like these marble shades, and we have 3 different colors. So Witching Hour is a beautiful golden shade. I don't know if I would actually wear this one, but maybe I can try and finagle it in the future. We have the shade Devil's Book, which is a vibrant red metallic, and the last shade is called Hocus Pocus, and it's a beautiful purpley metallic shade. You'll see that in the last look in my 4 looks video. So surprise, there's also 3 lip products in this collection. I'm ready to create a red look. I feel like it's been forever since I did one, so let's see. I'm gonna start off with a Sigma E25, and I'm gonna go into the shade called Devil's Book. Wow, that is blending so easily and beautifully, and it's pigmented, and I just want to like sheer it out here at the start of my crease and lid, and then make it a little bit more deep on the outer corner. So really like how that's looking. And then I'm probably going to take a little bit of the shade Hocus Pocus, which is like a purpley burgundy shade, and throw that on the outer portion as well, just to kind of give it some more depth. That is a really pretty dark shade. It's so pigmented, which I love because I want that gradient. And it's so pigmented that I feel like I almost don't have to use the black shade, but we'll see, and just keep blending. Okay, that is looking so pretty, and I'm gonna put actually a little bit more of that purple on this side to balance it out a little bit better. And then for the lid shade, I want to use this color called the Crucible. It's a really pretty burgundy shimmer, and I might use a little bit of the shade Witching Hour as my inner corner. We'll see how it goes. I picked this melt brush, but I feel like it's barely picking up any color. I'm going to switch to this Sigma brush, which I love, and this is like such a nice shimmer formula that it needs a grabby bristle brush to pick up the shades. So that looks better already. Oh, look at that color. Such a perfect fall palette. I'm not ready. I know so many people are ready for fall, but I feel like we've had such a weird summer because there's warm days and then there's smoky days because of fires, and you can't really go outside because the air quality is not great and looks so hazy here. And then there's days where it's raining. My husband said he looked it up online, and I guess it's climate change, and because he does a lot of like outdoor biking in the summertime. And so we were just talking about how it's been such a weird summer. He said, I don't remember such cloudy days like years ago. And he said, it's because of climate change, and it's kind of wild to think about. I'm just taking a little bit of Haunted Happenings, this neutrally shade, to kind of blend the inner portion of my crease and lid. Okay, I had to use my favorite melt eyeliner. This is Rich Brown. I had to like double check the name, but look, I'm actually like shortening this, which doesn't happen because I have a lot of eyeliners, but that's my favorite brown. And I wanted to use a brown because I thought it would help make it look a little less intense in the waterline. And I'm just taking this lethal brush, and I'm gonna go into Devil's Book, which is that red color, and we're just gonna run that right along the waterline where I put the eyeliner. I don't want to bring it too far down because I don't want it to look too red on the lower lash line, kind of like I have pink eye or something. So just gonna round that out a little bit there. Okay, that is looking so cute. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit more of Haunted Happenings, and I'm just gonna run it on the inner corner and just blend a little bit more on the waterline. Cute. And then I'm just gonna take the shade Witching Hour and pop that in the inner corner just to give it some lightness to the eye look. Okay, I think that looks about how I wanted it to look. I feel like I've been doing a lot of green and neutral eye looks, so I wanted to do something red, and I'm gonna finish up this look and I'll be right back. Okay, here is the finished look. What do you guys think? I did pair it with one of the lipsticks from the collection as well. This is the shade Witch City Salem. So it's a beautiful red lip color and it's a satin finish, very comfortable, very opaque. I did pair it with one of the new lip liners from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the shade Rage and it's a beautiful red, and I love a fresh new lip liner, you guys. The point was so crisp. For the rest of my face, I did decide to shop my stash. So I'm wearing these two foundations kind of mixed together. This is the About Face foundation in the shade MD2 Olive, and I have the One Size Ton of the Base Full Beat Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade 50G. I feel like I have to mix right now because I'm pretty tan. I think I'm about as tan as I'm going to be this summer, so a lot of my foundations are a little light. I also decided to use the NARS concealer that I picked up a few weeks ago, and I just feel like I haven't given it like a fair shot. So use that, and then I use my new Sigma color corrector they sent me with their new F26 concealer brush. This is so lovely for applying your concealer, so I have been loving that. And then my bronzer combo, I went back to Old Faithful, my Say Liquid Bronzer, and my Hourglass Powder Bronze. So those are some of the things I have on my face today. This is the look. I wanted to do something a little more red, so now let's get into another look. Okay, I think I'm going to start off with this shade called Haunted Happenings. It's just like a neutrally crease kind of color, and I'm just gonna run that all over my eyelid and my crease. If you have a lighter skin tone than me, I think you could just use this one and Witching Hour, and you'll probably have the most beautiful two color eye look. But I feel like I need something with a little bit more definition in the outer corner and the crease for what I want to do. I'm looking at the colors. I think I might use Devil's Book next. I could use Witch City, which is the black shade, but I don't know if I want to go that dark. So I'm going to start off with, actually, do I do Hocus Pocus or Devil's Book? Let's do Hocus Pocus because I remember that being really dark. Putting a little bit on the outer corner. I'm going to blend it inward, but also kind of keeping it on the outer corner. That is looking so cute. I'm going to take a little bit more of Haunted Happenings and just kind of blend over. Okay, I really love the little bit of definition there on the outer corner. I'll blend it out a little bit more after I use the lid shade. So I think I'm going to go in with, ooh, should I do Howling Halloween? It's more like a cool tone, or this one? Let's swatch and see. Ooh, I kind of like the mix of the two. Look at that. It's so pretty. I never do stuff like this usually. Kind of cute. Let's try it out. So I'm going to start off with Howling Halloween. Ooh, picked up a lot on that one. Give it a spray. It's like a taupey plummy color. So I'm just kind of applying that very lightly. I don't want to foil it as much as I usually do. So I'm kind of diffusing it with like the windshield wiper motions. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Witching Hour. And just kind of running that on top of the shade. I feel like that light shade Haunted Happenings got eaten up by my skin tone, but that's okay. Let me line the waterline quick and we'll finish up this look. I'm just going to take a pencil brush and go into Witching Hour. Get a nice spray, and I'm going to pop that in the inner corner. And then I'm going to take Hocus Pocus and just run that on the outer corner a little bit. And then I'm going to take Haunted Happenings and just kind of blend it a little bit more on the lower lash line. I'm telling you, this is the simplest look of all time, but I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay guys, here's look 2. I feel like this is so different for me because usually I try to zhuzh up any look that I'm doing, but this is me on a good day. If you find me at a store or at the grocery shop or something like that, if I have this much makeup on, it's a good day because I had some time to actually get ready, but I wanted to do something simple in case you guys were wondering if this color story was dynamic enough for you to create really fun, more Halloween type looks and more easy neutral looks if that's your preference for every day. So yeah, this is the look. I really like it. Let me tell you really quick what else is on my face today. I definitely have a lot of makeup on, even though I tried really hard to make it look like I didn't. So for my lip, I went with something that I love so much. I haven't used this in a while. This is the Laneige Glaze Craze Tinted Lip Serum in the shade Chocolate Frosting. I know they've come out with a bunch of shades since this original drop, and I love it so much, and I love the little donut applicator. And then for bronzer today, I went with my Dior powder and my Chanel cream bronzer. And for blush, I'm wearing my Singe blush in the shade Risky Raisin. This is such a pretty neutral blush shade on me. And then for highlighter, I'm wearing the Natasha Denona highlighter in the shade Medium 02. For foundation and concealer, I'm wearing the Urban Decay Face Bond and the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. I needed a little bit of coverage today, so that is pretty much everything on my face today. This is the second look. Okay, I'm not feeling that great still today, but we're going to create another look, and I think I'm going to do 4 looks with this palette. We'll see how it goes, but today I was thinking some greens, so we'll see. I mean, you guys know I love greens, so we did a red look, we did a neutral look, so I feel like a green look is coming next. Just to get the disclaimer out of the way, if I seem like I have low energy, it's because I kind of do, and I'm gonna still try and make my new makeup releases video today, so yeah. Let's just hope and pray that I survive. I'm going to start off with the shade called Seven Gables right here. It's a kind of army khaki green color, and we're just going to blend that into the outer corner. Try and keep it really close to the outside. I did prime my eyes with the Sigma Ignite Eyeshadow Primer. It's the one I always use, and yeah. Let's see how it turns out. This color is so deep. It almost looks like a black, but it's a really dark army green, so I love that. And then I'm going to go into the shade called Dark Demons, which has the cutest cat imprint, and it's such a vibrant looking green. It's going to be pretty contrasting to the outer corner, but that's okay. I'm going to use it to blend everything together. Okay, I love how that's looking. Now for the lid shade, I decided to go with a bit of a twist and try out this vibrant orange shade. I'm such a monochromatic girl, but I thought maybe the orange could be a fun pop. Let's see if this is a good idea or a bad idea, and that way if you think this is really fugly, you can avoid it. But I thought, you know, carrot. Carrots are green and orange. Green and orange go well together, so why not try something a little bit different? I think this orange would be so pretty with a neutral look too. Especially if you have a tan or deep complexion. I feel like an orange is just so flattering. This is a nice foily shadow too. I did spray my brush, so I'm just trying to slowly create like a faux cut crease. I used a Urban Decay green eye pencil. This is the shade Overdrive. Not sure if they make this anymore, but it's a really pretty sparkly green eyeliner. Gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna go into this shade called Salem Willows. It's a light green color, and I think that's gonna be my inner corner, so I'm gonna give it a nice spray. Just gonna pop that onto the inner corner. I'm going to take the same brush after wiping it off and go into Dark Demons, which is the green, the light green shade that I used in my crease, and I'm just going to run that really close to the waterline and connect it, of course, to the outer corner. I'm so sorry if you hear me clearing my throat while I'm filming. I am doing the best I can. I always get sick when there's a Nomad release. It's literally happened for years at this point. I've literally joked about it with the owners and said, like, every time you guys release a palette, I get sick. And as soon as we start feeling a little bit of fall, like it's been a little bit more rainy, a little bit more cloudy, here it comes. And my kid is starting preschool soon, you guys. I'm unwell. I need all the moms that are subscribers to my channel to send me positive vibes, because I thought I was going to be one of those moms that I was like, yes, one of them is going to school. I'll have like a little more time to breathe. But I feel like it's just going to be worse because my second one is a little bit more of a clinger. And I feel like without her sister there to distract her, she's going to want me even more. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, the look is done. Let me go ahead and finish it up and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, I feel like I have other spooky earrings, but I could only find these ones, so that's the one I decided to wear. They're probably going to get a lot of mileage in the next few months, but I had to bring out the skelly earrings. So let me tell you really quick what is on my face while you check out this look. I did go ahead and pull out a blush I haven't used in a while. This is from NYX. This is the Sooner the Buttermilk Blush from NYX Cosmetics, and it's a beautiful orange shade, so I thought it would go really well with this look. I hope it's showing up. I was having a hard time seeing it in my studio lighting, so hopefully you can see it. I decided to use my Gucci highlighter. Kind of forgot I had that. And then I stuck with the same bronzer combo as the last look. Chanel cream bronzer and Dior powder bronzer, because why not? I love that Chanel bronzer. It's not the new formula. I'm not going to rebuy it for the new formula. It takes me forever and I'm never going to use it up because there's so much product. So I'm happy with the old formula. Sigma color corrector, of course, because the eye bags are, as always, just living their best life on my face. And for my lip combo, I dug into my lip stash and I pulled out this Kulfi Stain. This is the shade Tamarind, and I paired it with this lip liner from Unearthly called Doom. This is one of their new shades as well. And then for foundation and concealer, I have on the Dior Stick Foundation and the Laura Mercier Concealer. This one I'm not a huge fan of, but I try to rotate through all of my complexion products, all my concealers, try to use as many blushes as I can when I sit down to film. So those are some of the things I use to create this look. Okay, so for the last look, I'm really wanting to focus on this section of the palette. It's not usually my cup of tea, but I thought it would be something fun and different and really kind of push me creatively. So let's see if I can make it work. I'm going to start off with the shade Witchcraft. It's this matte gray shade, and let's be real, it's not one I would really reach for, but I'm going to try and see what I can do. Okay, I really like how this shade blended onto my lids. Now I'm going to go into the shade Salem Commons, which I'm hoping will work with this gray. So this is kind of a random thing, but back home there was a school, and I remember their school uniform used to be gray, and I think they used to wear purple ties, and I always thought it was kind of a weird combo. But for some reason, I'm kind of feeling this. It's not the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so I want to put the shade Gallows Hill on my lid, and maybe I can even put some of this on the outer corner. We'll see how it pans out. Okay, I got this old, dense Glamlight and Scooby-Doo brush, and I even happen to have my Glamlight Scooby-Doo setting spray. I've been trying to use this up to spray on my face. Sorry, I mean spray on my eyes. I use setting sprays that I don't really want to like use on my face to spray my eyeshadow shades just to help them foil. Now that I got this color on the eyes, I feel like I need to use the taupey shimmer on the inner portion because I feel like it's gonna look weird if I put a purple on top of a gray matte eyeshadow. So let's put some silver. This is really taking a turn to cool toned silvery town, which is not usually what I like to wear, but let me tell you, I want looking for spooky Halloween earrings, and I found some at a couple of stores yesterday. Well, actually mostly just Target, but I'll have to show them to you guys. I think I filmed, I think I was going to a kid's birthday, It's a hit, okay? That look was a hit. My one mom friend kept raving about my eye look, and she kept asking me, what eyeshadow palette are you wearing? And I'm like, it's an indie brand. It's not out yet. She's like, tell me what eyeshadow you have on. I'm like, it's a long story. Okay, I kind of like this. It's still looking a little bit like understated, but I'm kind of here for it. And I think once I like line my lash line and we add like a little hint of black, I think it'll make it even more smoky. Okay, so for the inner corner shade, I'm going to use the shade called Old Burying Point because it looks a lot lighter on the inner corner than I thought. It looks a little darker in the pan, but on my eyes, it looks a little bit more silvery. So I feel like I can get away with it on the inner corner. Just going to give it a nice little spray. And I'm just going to plop that onto my inner corner. That is looking so fun. And I'm going to take the shade Salem Commons and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. You guys, who's watching The Summer I Turned Pretty? I think I talked about it a few times, but now I've like hit the Summer I've Turned Pretty algorithm on Instagram, and apparently it's just like beloved by women in my age group. Like apparently millennials are just like goo goo gaga for this show. And you know, I think that a lot of people on my channel are like my age or a little bit older, a little bit younger. We're the generation that grew up with like One Tree Hill and Gossip Girl, so we love a good soap romance and the whole situation. But if you guys are watching the show, let me know. If you're not watching the show, say, Karen, I have no effing idea what you're talking about. And that's okay too. Okay, now I'm just taking black on the same brush and I'm just gonna blend it a little bit on the outer corner just to give the look a little bit more depth on the edge. But I'm really liking how this turned out. I feel like it's definitely giving like spooky Halloween vibes. Take a bit more of witchcraft and just kind of like blend that over everything as well. I think we're looking blended. I think we're looking spooky ooky Salem vibes. So I'm going to finish up this makeup look and I'll be right back to show it to you. Okay, friends, here is the finished look. What do we think? I am obviously dying to know which look was your favorite. So 1 if you like the first one, 2 if you like the second one, 3 if you like the fourth one, 3 if you like the third one, and 4 if you like this look. I need you to vote right now. Vote right now. And let me tell you really quick what is on my face today in case you guys are curious. As always, I do try to shop my stash when I'm playing with an eyeshadow palette just to test things out, see if I feel the same way I did about certain products. I'm also trying better to declutter my products throughout the year. So if I try something I'm like, why do I still have this? I'll put it in a declutter pile and I'll film that video at the end of the year. But today I haven't worn this in forever. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glow tint. And I have it in the shade 300, and this is actually a really good shade match for me, in my opinion. And I like this. It's lightweight, and it's decent coverage. It's pretty glowy, but not overly glowy, so really enjoyed that. I also used a L'Oreal concealer. This is their new Skin Ink concealer. I bought this on the Ulta website, and I have it in the shade 290. And I did use a little bit of my Sigma color corrector as well, just because. Always love a little extra coverage. Same bronzer combo I've been using throughout this video pretty much. And then for blush, I decided to go with something mauve. So this is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush in the shade Truth. It's like a pretty mauve-y color, and I really like that formula. And then for highlighter, I'm wearing the Urban Decay Face Bond Luminizer in Silver Lake, and the lip color is one from this collection. So this is the shade Witch City Salem, and it's a beautiful metallic purple shade. I don't think I did a good job of covering the lip products in this collection, but they're nice. They're just very metallic, and I'm definitely more of like a matte lipstick girl, so that's just a preference thing. But I think this color actually pairs really well with this eye look, so it worked out well for me. Now let's go ahead and talk about this collection. So like I said, the lipsticks, there are 3 shades. They haven't done any additional products in a while. They did the Nomad travel line with some products that were more travel friendly, but I feel like it's been a hot second since we got some lipsticks. So there's 3 in this collection. I'm not sure how much they are off the top of my head. So at the time I'm filming this video, they haven't even announced that there is gonna be 3 lip colors, but if I find out any information, I will put it in the description box for you guys. I'll update it even after this video goes live. So those are the lip colors. You already saw the swatches, and I wore 2 of the 3 shades in this video, so there's that. And then as far as the palette goes, I did go ahead and bring out my other Halloween palettes. I was actually going to check and see if these 2 are coming back. I think I remember reading that they are coming back for this Halloween season. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But we have Haunted Europe, which is this beautiful jewel toned palette. And we of course have the Ghost Town palette, which is the more cool tone palette to Haunted Europe. And so I think these 2 are similar, but the Salem palette is definitely more traditional Halloween, a little bit like if you cover this row up, it's very much giving fall leaves vibes. So I love this so much, and definitely not disappointed with this palette. As you can see, you can do a variety of looks. You can do colorful looks. I also think I could do a very cool tone, more neutral look, like without the purple. I think this would have made a really pretty silvery, smoky eye. So many more options. I feel like I did try to do a variety of things, so hopefully it was helpful to you guys. I think I used quite a few shades, so I'm happy about that, and I didn't have any issues with anything blending on my eyes. And yeah, I just think this is a really fun color story. Obviously it's not like that unique. I'm sure if you guys are trying to minimize your buying, you could probably dupe this with other palettes in your collection. But if you're a Nomad collector like I am, I think you're not going to want to miss out on this palette. So they are launching this palette on Monday, and I believe it's launching at 5 p.m. Central Time, which I think is a good idea, a little bit early so we don't have to wait up too late. And I do have a discount code with Nomad Cosmetics. It's KH Makeup. It is an affiliate code, so if you want to use my code and support, it really helps my channel out, and it allows me to continue working with some of my favorite indie brands. So I do appreciate the support. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Let me know which look was your favorite, and I will see you in my new makeup releases video on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out. See you soon. Bye, friends!